Beyond the junkyard echoes roar, shattered dreams and bloodstains pour, grit and glory all from war.
Welcome to episode 115 of the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. I am your host, Junkyard James. This is Solo Saturday. I love you, Solo. Welcome to the episode. This is Beyond the Junkyard. Every Saturday, it is the community show. I'm going to talk about what the IWC and what, more importantly, the RWC, that being the real wrestling community, which is our Discord page. You can find that at beyondthejunkyard.com and the Discord button there, or you can message me on social media at IBEJYJ, and I can get you a link to the Discord community. Welcome to the show today. We got a pretty good show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about Mariah May. We're going to introduce a new interactive Discord group segment on the show, and we're going to talk a little bit about a complaint that was viral on social media amongst wrestling fans for the past couple of days after the Double or Nothing show on Sunday that we didn't get to in the live stream on Thursday. If you don't know, we live stream every Thursday. Me and my co-host Cody Marinera, we do the live stream show on Thursday, kind of breaking down the biggest in-ring news in pro wrestling, focus more solely on AEW. But this Solo Saturday show, well, it's just me trying to make a community show where we talk about the stuff more so outside of the ring than inside of the ring. And I have 4 things I need you to do if you're watching this video. They're posted at the top right-hand corner of the screen. I need you to hit that thumbs up button. Like this video for me. Let's try and get to, I'm going to try and get to 5 likes on this. We're growing, we're young. I'm not going to expect y'all to 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 likes. Let's aim for 5. Let's get 5 likes there. Comment below if you're watching this video. Comment sickos in the chat if you're watching. Comment just anything. Let the people know. Let the algorithm know that people like watching this, and we can build this community. And to build the community, it's going to take the people who watch to share this video with their wrestling friends and family. Let's build a community here on YouTube, but also translate it into the Discord. So again, I will plug the Discord, the Real Wrestling Community. You can find the link there at junkyardmediagroup.com. The last thing I need you to do is hit that subscribe button. We set a goal this past Thursday that by the end of 2025, we want 100 subscribers. We're at 43 as we currently stand as I'm recording this video. So we're almost halfway to the goal. Let's get to 100 by the end of the year. Hit that notification bell. That way you know every time I post an episode or we go live on Thursdays, you'll get that notification. But I've done enough talk for now. Let's talk about a new segment that we're getting ready to debut on the show. But first, thank you to our affiliate partner, Dubby Energy. When you're looking for a boost that keeps you sharp without the jitters, say hello to Dubby Energy. Packed with clean, transparent ingredients, no sugar and no artificial junk. It's just pure crash-free focus. Whether you're gaming, working, or grinding through the day, Dubby Energy is there for you, and they have your back. Try it now and taste the difference. Use the code Beyond the Yard for 10% off at checkout. Go to w.gg. They got some new flavors being announced. I know they got a s'mores flavor. They got a new like summer peach flavor, I believe. Or go to w.gg. 10% off if you use the code Beyond the Yard. Thank you for partnering with us, affiliating with us. W Energy help support the podcast. We do get a bit of a kickback if you use the code, just for the transparency there. Thank you to W Energy for partnering with the show. Let's talk about this new segment. I mentioned last week on the Discord that I wanted to do something with the community to get some interaction with the community, and I really want this Saturday show to be the RWC community show where I'm going to give the same hot takes and stuff about wrestling, but about topics that you really care about. And so here is something that I put together, and the rules will change. The behind the scenes of this segment may change as I need to make changes. But we're going to talk about some baddies of the week this week. And I'm going to give you some house rules on what's going on. The baddies of the week, you're going to be in the Discord. There's a baddies channel. And you're going to send your submissions of who you think the most attractive female wrestler of that week, who that is. Photos have to be posted during that week. My intent is that you cannot use like photos that are 3 or 4 years old. Let's keep it current. 10 a.m. is when I typically prepare for this show. And so Saturday at 10 is the 10 a.m. Eastern time. I will make that the cutoff. I will start ranking based off of the photos that have been submitted. And my original goal was I was going to do the top 5, but I've decided kind of last minute that the idea that I want to do is however many submissions we get for that week. So after this show gets posted, week 2 of this segment begins. So anything that gets posted after the recording of this show will be for the following week. I'm going to rank every submission. So if I get 5 submissions, it'll be 1 to 5. If I get 20 submissions, it'll be 1 to 20. Whoever wins for that week will be considered the Real Wrestling Community Baddie Champion, and will get to defend the next week. So whoever wins this week will be back in the running for the next Saturday running. So if I get 20 new submissions, there'll be 21 total submissions, and that female wrestler will have to defend and see if they can become a long reigning Baddie champion. For the first couple of weeks, I'm probably going to have some leeway on age of photos or aggregate, because there are social media pages that post older photos today to get the aggregate. But so I'll have some leniency there. But going forward, that's the plan. I want current photos from within the week, and so we can have a little bit of Discord fun, and make it so that there is some participation in the Discord, and that I get to make the final rankings, but based off the submissions that are put in the Discord server. If you don't put anything in the Discord server, I'm just going to start throwing stuff in the Discord server, and I'll rank those submissions myself. I have a couple on this week's submissions that I posted that are ranked, and so if you wanna participate in that, obviously participation will be optional for those in the community. I don't necessarily think this is something that is meant to be subject or like objectifying of women. We're appreciating really talented pro wrestling women for the beauty that they exhibit inside and outside of the ring. So it could be just a normal like candid photo, them in swimwear, or it could be them in their wrestling gear. I want this to be as open as possible. let's not have repeats, obviously. Like if somebody posts Tiffany Stratton, let's not have 2 or 3 other people post Tiffany Stratton. Let's try and not have repeats. And I'm going to keep it open to AEW, to WWE, to even all of the indies. So we have enough women that we can put in here. It's wide enough that we don't have to have the repeats. And again, note, these are my rankings. Comment below how you would rank them in the comment section. So let's get going. I think I've explained this enough. This is pretty simple. Let's get going with the rankings. This week we had 5 submissions, so I ranked them from 5th to winner to first place, and 5th place this week goes to Fallon Henley. This is a good photo. I think it's an older photo of Fallon, but I could be wrong. She gets 5th place this week. It's a good photo. She is really attractive. She's a good looking woman. She's a good wrestler. But the other ones, obviously, in my opinion, were better. We'll move to 4th place. Sonya Deville. I love Sonya Deville. I think this photo is gorgeous. And I can't wait to see her back in a wrestling ring if she decides to be back in a wrestling ring. I don't know if she will. I think she kind of is enjoying the life that she has right now. And her podcast is great that she has. And so I appreciate Sonya Deville and that she's kind of still in the sphere, and she gets 4th place this week. 3rd place goes to Isla Dawn. This was submitted by one of the goats in the Discord family. And he posted this one as soon as I announced what was going on. This is what was posted, and so this is good competition. I like the contrast of her. Obviously, she has a lighter skin tone, and the lighter blue matches well. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with fashion, but it looks good. And anyway, Isla Dawn, 3rd place. 2nd place goes to the newly debuting AEW women's superstar, Tekla. Obviously, this was a hired shoot to make her look attractive, and they hit every piece. She is a good-looking woman, and I'm excited to see her in AEW because she is a really good wrestler too. And so, as I make that statement, I don't want this to be something where it's like, this guy is just sexualizing these women. No, I really want to appreciate these women for the beauty they have outside of the ring, but also say they are really good wrestlers as well, and you should watch them wrestle. This is not something that's meant to be objectifying, but something to be appreciative of what pro wrestling is, and that these women do care enough to take care of their bodies and look attractive so that they can present themselves in a good way on TV. So Tekla takes 2nd place, but my winner, let me read some of the comments, because I think this was the winner in the group as well, because some of the comments on there made me laugh out loud when and I'll admit I posted the winner's photo, and this is what had to be said. It said, "Give me 5 minutes alone and I'll turn this girl straight." Someone said, "You wouldn't know what to do with a woman like that." And so who's the winner this week? Who is going to defend? Who is going to become the first ever Real Wrestling Community Baddie of the Week champion and defend the title next week against the field of competition? It's none other than Indy Hartwell. She is the first women's champion. Listen to me. Listen to me. She is gorgeous. She is a beautiful woman. And there's just something about an Australian with the accent that looks attractive. Is everything that a man could ever dream of. Indy Hartwell, you are the winner. I appreciate you. I think she's the current HOG champion. Am I correct? She won the title they stripped off of Megan Bayne. But she wins the first ever Baddie of the Week competition for the real wrestling community. If you want to join in and submit to go up against Andy Hartwell next week, make sure to post your submissions in the Real Wrestling Community Baddie channel on the Discord. Again, that Discord is found at junkyardmediagroup.com, or again, you can send me a message on X at IBEJYJ. Let's move on into some news that has gone absolutely viral over the past couple of days. But first, I think this is a convenient plug here. Let's talk about another one of our affiliate partners, and that being WWE Shop. Unleash your inner superstar with merchandise from WWE Shop. From the electrifying moments of WrestleMania to the hard-hitting battles of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, WWE Shop has the gear to match your passion. Snag authentic tees, hats, and championship belts that bring the WWE Universe right to your wardrobe. Visit the link in the description below, snag that WWE merch, and suit up to cheer on your favorite superstars. WWE Shop. Every fan deserves to feel like a champion. So what news am I talking about? Well, it's the name of the video. We're talking about Mariah May. So the news has come out that her intention is to sign with the WWE yesterday, I believe it was Friday. It was announced that she was removed, and I verified this with my own eyes. She was removed from AEW's roster page, which typically means that she is no longer part of the AEW roster, or if she's still under contract, she will not be re-signing in the future. And so she's gone. Mariah May is leaving AEW. And the rumor and almost certified truth behind this is Mariah May is going to WWE. And I'm excited about it. I really am. I hate that she's leaving AEW. AEW is my top show. I think Mariah May is a really good wrestler. I think she can do really good things in WWE if they book her the way they're supposed to book her. Now, if they book her like they booked Jade Cargill, she's just going to spend 3 years doing nothing in WWE. But she got to chase out her dream. Like Jade Cargill, granted, injuries have been part of her story. Granted, they assumed that Jade Cargill can't wrestle, so they made her spend like 6 months in the Performance Center, which really didn't improve her in-ring work. Because like I've said before, the Performance Center doesn't help as much as people think. They should have been putting her in live competition on like NXT before putting her on the mainstream big, main roster. Like, they do for people like Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia. They let them go to NXT first to intermingle with the WWE style. But they decided to send Jade Cargill straight to the moon without making sure the life-preserving suit was strapped in properly. And for the most part, I feel like Jade Cargill's run in WWE has been an absolute dud, an absolute failure. And that's the fear that I have with Mariah May, is that they're going to book her really bad and that she's going to have a really mid or worse a mid-card run in WWE. Obviously, she's going to get a big push, maybe hold the NXT Women's Championship for a couple months. And then once she drops the belt, it's the everlasting cycle of WWE signs a former AEW star by throwing a championship match in their face, lets them win the title, they drop the title, and then they sit in an an ever-going lull in the mid-card. Ask Lexis King how it's worked out. Ask Sean Spears how it's worked out. Ethan Page has had a decent run. Ricky Saints is about to experience it. Ask Dragon Lee how he's doing. And you'll see that this is the cycle that I hope they don't do with Mariah May. Mariah May is well within her right to go to WWE. And so I'm happy that she's got to this point. In fact, my initial reaction when I saw this, and I posted this on social media, on Twitter, is I said, best of luck to Mariah in WWE. She truly deserves this. She's worked hard to get to the top, but it's sad to see her leave AEW. For those who don't know Mariah May, she had to bust her ass during the COVID pandemic to get to Japan, from England to Japan, work her ass off in Japan during a pandemic just to get recognized by AEW so that she can come to eventually fulfill her dream at becoming a WWE superstar. And so here's the thing that AEW fans are going to have to understand. There are international wrestlers, people from across the pond that are not in America, who aren't known to an American audience, who know that they can join AEW, still wrestle internationally, still have really good matches, while at the same time making themselves more known to the American audience, therefore putting them on WWE's radar for them to potentially sign them. It's worked that way for Julia. It's worked that way for Stephanie Vaquer. It's worked that way for Dragon Lee. And we have to accept that there are going to be wrestlers that sign with AEW just to get themselves known, just to put themselves on WWE's radar, because the ultimate dream, and I've come to accept this over the last while, the ultimate dream for most wrestlers is to be a WWE wrestler, to be a WWE superstar. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay that there are going to be people who see AEW as a stepping stone to their further career goal. And I don't think it's fair for us as fans to criticize that level of thinking, because we do it in our day-to-day jobs. We leave one department to go to another department with hopes that this department at work leads us to this management position, which leads us to further management positions to better our career. Or we leave one job to go to a different job because they offer us more money and more, and there's a bigger possibility that we get a better development plan at this new job. And so one job may be a stepping stone for another job, and we do this in our day-to-day life, and it's no different just because it's pro wrestling and you're jumping ship from AEW to WWE, or WWE to AEW, or TNA to AEW, or TNA to MLW, or whatever, wherever some wrestlers see that they can go from one place to the next, and that can be the opportunity they need to get themselves noticed and ultimately better their career. And I use this example actually this morning. Someone put on here, and this is, we're going to interject into a kind of a segment that is related in the fact that it has to do with like AEW wrestlers leaving, but this is just a broader spectrum. So this is no longer specific to Mariah May. I'm happy for Mariah May. I think she's done really well in AEW. She gave us the greatest story in AEW history on the women's division. That story with her and Tony Storm, and she went out doing a good job. She put Tony Storm over. She made Tony Storm look like $1 million. She didn't trash talk the company on her way out. She didn't air her grievances on social media. She didn't have like an old legend like Conan go out there and trash talk them on their behalf like Phoenix and Penta did. She didn't, you know, pull a Ricky Starks and complain that he wasn't being used. Like, she did everything she could for AEW to treat them right. And it's just a mutual decision that she thinks it's a better opportunity for her to go to WWE to better her career. My fear is not with Mariah May because she has the skill set. I said this on Dirty D's show a month or two ago, the Casual Wrestling Daily show, that she has the skill set. It's just up to how WWE is going to book her. It seems like she's going to NXT and she'll be able to probably be the main woman on NXT for a good period of time, now that the likes of Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia are being pulled up into the main roster. This is a good time for someone like Mariah May to show up and make her name known. But we're going to talk now about loyalty, because the AEW hardcore fans, and I love AEW hardcore fans. I rock with you. I love AEW. It is my favorite wrestling promotion. But at the end of the day, there is a business part of pro wrestling that we cannot forget about. And so Mariah May, Cody Rhodes, Ricky Starks, Penta Ray Phoenix, Miro, Malachi Black, all of these people that have left AEW to go to WWE, they made a business decision. Now, some of them handled business really bad. They burnt bridges that they probably shouldn't have burnt. Mariah May didn't. And so she's the next example of someone leaving AEW. And someone tweeted this, and I'm going to keep them anonymous. I don't want to put them on blast. But they tweeted, Tony needs to stop giving title runs and big pushes to people whose end goal is to use AEW as a stepping stone to get to the WWE. And he needs to build around people who are AEW lifers and people who plan to stay long term. I completely disagree with this. I completely disagree with this nonsense. And the AEW fan base has been calling Mariah May a traitor for the past 24 hours since this news has broke that she's leaving AEW. They've been calling her a traitor. While at the same time, months ago when Ricochet left, they were bashing the WWE fans who did the same thing for Ricochet. You can't have it both ways. She's not a traitor because, like I said, she fulfilled all of her obligation. She was effectively a free agent, though I think there's still a couple months left on her contract. I'm not 100% sure. The contract isn't public knowledge, so I don't know exactly when her contract is up. But there's still time left on her contract for a few months probably. But she mostly has fulfilled all of her obligations. She didn't trash talk the company on her way out. She's effectively a free agent. There's no additional loyalty that she needs to show to AEW. She's allowed to choose what's the best for her career. And if, let's just say, AJ Styles' contract ends or whoever, and he wants to jump to AEW, he fulfilled his WWE contract obligations. He's no longer obligated to remain loyal to AEW. And the like that I'm not obligated to stay loyal to my former company if a new company offers me more money, better career development, whatever it may be. I'm no longer loyal to that company once I fulfilled the obligations that were designated in the contract. Mariah May fulfilled her obligations. And she is allowed to do what's best for her. And this is the logic that I had to give these people. Imagine using this logic that X, Y, and Z is a traitor. In any other sport. Imagine somebody saying the insert team here needs to stop drafting big time stars just to see them go to insert rival team here. Why that logic is asinine. It's a business. If I fulfilled my contract obligations, I can go wherever I feel is best for me in my career. We have to get this idea that wrestlers have to stay loyal to one company for their whole career. Just because John Cena did it, The Miz did it, doesn't mean everybody does it. Sting was a big example of a WCW lifer. And but there were rumblings that he was talking to go to WWE, and I think honestly, WWE didn't want Sting. It wasn't that Sting didn't want to go to WWE, especially after WCW went under. I think it was WWE didn't see Sting as a big character, which is why they treated him so bad when he actually got there. But like even Bret Hart, didn't have loyalties to WWE fully. Hulk Hogan didn't have a full loyalty to WWE. The entire cruiserweight division that was in WCW, when WWE came calling, they didn't have a loyalty to WCW. Because the loyalty stops when it has to. When there's another offer that's better, that is better than what you currently have, and you fulfilled your contract obligations, that your loyalty stops when your contract ends. Plain and put, you fulfill your contract obligations. You fulfilled everything you said you need to fulfill. You keep your word. You no longer owe them anything. That's how business works. For people to think that somebody's just going to start day one with one company and retire with that company, that's not how the world works anymore. Now, even in the real world, you don't see people working 40 years for one company anymore. You see people working 40 years total with a multitude of companies. You see CEOs jumping ship from one company to the next for better offers and more money and more whatever. Better family play, a placement, better whatever. Mariah May's dream has always been to get to WWE. That is obvious from her old social media posts. She's always wanted to go to WrestleMania and have a WrestleMania moment. And so for her to say, I'm going to AEW because I'm not known to an American audience in the way that I'm known in an international audience. So I'll go to a company that kind of splits the gap between the international and the American audience, get myself more known with that American audience so that WWE has no choice but to offer me a deal. Because WWE, they've changed their strategy to no longer go after like indie stars for the most part that aren't well known to an American audience. They're going to look, outside of Jeff Cobb, who again, they're not calling Jeff Cobb. Mariah May's not getting a name change. She's going to go by Mariah May. That's going to be her name. They're not going to give her a name change. She's too big of a star. And if they do, it's going to be closely resembling, kind of like Ricky Starks. Changed to Ricky Saints. Mariah May will be called like Mariah something, Like it's going to be close enough to the brand that got her there. Jeff Cobb, they just went in a completely different direction because he wasn't well known, but he fit the bill of what they were looking for that bloodline storyline. And so, listen, no, wrestlers don't owe everlasting loyalty to a company just because they get, a long title reign or a big push or whatever. In fact, Tony Khan did it right. I'm pretty sure Tony Khan was well aware Mariah May's goal was to get to WWE. And so he made as much money off of her as he could in the 2 years that he had her, because he knew she probably wasn't signing a second deal with them. So he did the right thing. He didn't bench her. He pushed her. He made her bigger so that he made money off of her. and made money off of merchandise and made money off of ticket sales because of her. Because now Tony Khan can say she's part of the best wrestling storyline we've ever had in the company's history so far. And I've made a lot of pay-per-view money off of her because she's that good. And I didn't waste my investment. See, people seem to think, well, if you're not loyal to WWE, well, you should just not be pushed. You're wasting the investment at that point. You got to get the most out of it while they're there. And Tony Khan did that. And so I see this as a mutual split up. I think Mariah May is going to do well in WWE, and so long as they book her right. But that's what I got to say about Mariah May. Let's jump into what I call the main event. But first, let's talk about the final one of our affiliate partners, and that is StubHub. Hey, you know that feeling when you snag the perfect seats to a game or a concert you've been dying to see? AEW All In, SummerSlam. You know that feeling when you get that ticket? Like, I remember when I got WrestleMania tickets, just the absolute thrill that it was to know that I was going to WrestleMania. That's what StubHub is all about. Whether it's courtside seats for the NBA playoffs, or front row for your favorite band, or a spontaneous night out, StubHub's got you covered. It's super easy. Browse events, pick your tickets, and boom, you are in. There's no sketchy resellers and absolutely no stress. It's a secure way to get authentic tickets every time. Plus, with their Fan Protect guarantee, if your plans change, they got your back. They got you covered. Right now, head to the link in the description below and check out what's happening near you. Maybe you can secure those last minute deals that are calling your name. StubHub, real tickets, real moments, real simple. Go make some memories. Thank you to StubHub, thank you to WWE Shop, and thank you for Dubby for sponsoring our show. Let's get to the main event, everybody. We're going to talk about one topic. It's been aggregated amongst a certain group of fans for the matter of about the whole week. And this topic is this idea that AEW pay-per-views are way too long at 4.5 hours. And there's been talk from Brian Alvarez saying that there's people within AEW that agree that it's way too long at 4.5 hours. And that the only person inside AEW that he didn't talk to, because he knew where he stood, was Tony Khan, and Tony Khan doesn't think the pay-per-views are long enough. I don't know if people remember, but before the Netflix deals and the Peacock deal, WWE pay-per-views were 4 hours long. And in fact, they're usually 3 hours long now, with about 80% of advertising and 20% wrestling. With AEW, you get 4.5 hours of nonstop, really good wrestling. You get more than what you paid for. You get more bang for your buck than a WWE premium live event. And so my question has to be, are they really too long? Or is this just another WWE tribalistic take to try and find something negative about AEW? You noticed immediately after the pay-per-view, is when they start pushing some of these negative stories towards AEW. It used to be before the pay-per-view. They would have the week leading into a pay-per-view would just be nothing but negative news, and now it seems that didn't work. They did really good pay-per-views, and so for the week following, all that was talked about was how good this pay-per-view was. So maybe we changed the strategy, let them have the good pay-per-view, and then hit them with this negative mirage of scandal. The stuff like the Deonna Purrazzo comments that I think people took out of context. I don't think that was necessarily a diss at AEW to this idea that the show is too long for pay-per-views. I mean, last I recall, SmackDown is still 3 hours. And the recent report says the idea that it was going to 2 hours is that no longer out of the picture because NBC Universal is good with WWE's numbers from the 3-hour show, so they want to keep it 3 hours. You're getting boring ass content for 3 hours. Raw is on a good day 2 hours, but sometimes it goes a little over 2.5 hours of boring content. So in a week, if you're watching Raw and SmackDown, you're watching 5.5 to 6 hours of really kind of shitty content. If you watch NXT, that adds another 2 hours. So I don't want people to sit here and talk about how long AEW's pay-per-views are. They've always been 4 hours. Pay-per-views have, for the majority of time, been 4 hours. At least since I've been a fan, I remember 4-hour pay-per-views for a while now. Even before AEW existed, WWE ran 4-hour pay-per-views. And remember when WrestleMania used to be one night and it used to be like 6 hours? Like, I would prefer that. I would prefer a 6-hour, really good WrestleMania, one night long, that was 6 hours long, over a 6-hour show spread through 2 nights. Because now, instead of just having a Saturday night ruined, watching 6 hours now I have to spend Saturday and Sunday watching WrestleMania. So now I have 2 nights booked. Less time for me to do other things. If AEW is providing really good matches and it goes 4.5 hours, I'm totally okay with it. I may be in the minority here. I don't see this as a problem. Because AEW is giving us really good content. AEW is giving us really good matches to fill the time for 4.5 hours. These people obviously don't watch New Japan because their pay-per-views are 4 hours. The problem is they don't like going to bed after midnight. And so maybe instead of saying that the pay-per-view is too long, maybe the fix is, hey, maybe move your pay-per-view card up a little bit. Maybe that's the fix. And I can say I'm cool with a pay-per-view starting on Sunday night around 6 o'clock if it needs to be, so that it can be over by 10 and you can get to bed at a reasonable time. I think the people that mostly complain about the length of these shows are the people who do the after show live streams, who have to do their 4-hour live stream recap and they don't get to bed till 3 a.m. Well, that's your fault, dumbass. You don't have to do a 4-hour live stream recapping the show. In fact, you could do your recap the next day. But no, they have to do it immediately following the show. Instant reaction to the 4-hour show. As if it really matters if you did it, after the show airs or the afternoon after the show airs. Like, it really don't matter. You're still going to say the same damn thing. I see no problem with the length of this. I think this is just a tribalistic nonsense. Something that they can try and say that AEW needs to fix. Because they're doing really good and pay-per-views and the TV makes sense and the storylines are hitting. Oh, but their shows are too damn long. Oh, there's a 4-hour Dynamite next week. Yeah, it's been planned that way for a month or two now. Because they're not having Collision that Saturday. Because guess fucking what? The NBA fucking finals are on. The Stanley Cup Finals are on TNT. They gotta block off Saturday. So we're doing a Dynamite. I guarantee you what happens is at the 2-hour mark, they'll fade to black. They'll play the Collision music, and it'll be a Collision the second half of the show. It's a 4-hour span of time doing Dynamite and doing Collision at the same damn time. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. This is what AEW does. This is what makes AEW different than WWE. They have these creative avenues to try and do things that WWE hasn't done. I don't think the shows are long. I think people just need to find something to bitch at. I think the shows are fine. In fact, I didn't even realize how long the show was. It didn't even come to my senses that the show was going to finish after midnight Eastern time, because I was so engaged in the show, because the matches were so fucking good that it didn't really matter to me what time it was. Like if Wrestle Kingdom started at like 10 o'clock Eastern time, they could run a 6-hour Wrestle Kingdom. And if I was able to watch the beginning and stay, awake long enough, I would watch Wrestle Kingdom overnight. I did it before when Kenny fought Chris Jericho. What was that? Wrestle Kingdom. Oh, I can't remember what number it was. Wrestle Kingdom, was it 12? Or 13? I can't remember which one it was when Kenny fought Chris Jericho. Maybe it was 11. But anyways, like I've stayed up to watch a full Wrestle Kingdom before. I've stayed up to watch a full New Year's Dash, a full whatever, a New Japan show. It's not that hard. The problem is that the people that are complaining are the people that really don't give a damn about AEW in the first place. And so they just need something to bitch at. But that's all I want to talk about today. Make sure to go to beyondthejunkyard.com. Get the merch from the merch site. There's a link you can copy on top there to save some money off of the merch. Go to junkyardmediagroup.com. Join the Discord. Hit the like button. Comment and share. Subscribe. Let's get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Hey, everybody. I am appreciative that you listen to me. Join the Discord. Join the battle of the baddies going forward. And we will see you on Thursday for the live stream with my co-host Cody Marinara. And I'm going to steal his words as we end this show. Stay saucy, my friends. Have a good one.
Beyond the